I'll start with you, General Talley, if I may, and then General Grass, you may want to hand this off a little bit, but I'm interested in where we are equipment-wise right now. Now, if you had to pick 4 or 5 areas of equipment that you feel like we're short or not up to what you need, could you shed some light on that? And then I'd like to ask the same question with respect to the Guard.
Congressman, thank you for the question. Well, here's where we are in terms of our both equipment on hand and modernization. The Army Reserve right now is about 92% of our equipment on hand is there, and about 72% of that is modernized. But the real challenge I have on equipment modernization is the Army Reserve's equipment modernization budget is approximately 2.6, 2.7%. Our pre-9/11 levels, which I know you missed because you came in after my opening testimony, were 6%. So pre-9/11, the Army Reserve, which was part of the operational force, but I think it's fair to say we were considered more strategic collectively as a reserve prior to 9/11. I'm 6% of the equipment modernization budget. Fast forward to today, I'm 2.6%, 2.7%, depending on how you do the numbers, of the equipment modernization budget. 35% of all my procurements from really 13 to 15 were from the GRIA. So this is problematic. So we're lagging behind the other 2 components. And what concerns me is since most of the enablers are in the Army Reserve, and we have the early entry set the theater forces for the total Army, so, we focus on BCTs, but I got to make sure the enablers are ready, and the Army relies on me to get those enablers out there early and set the theater and stay in the theater, and this is a concern. Now, the Army has recently come up and provided in the current budget some help on Mission Command equipment and modernization, but collectively overall I have some strong concerns.
So you didn't answer in terms of specifics, but you do just have a big overall problem, period, that would affect almost everything you've got then, right?
Absolutely. So I can give you for the record, I can give you the specific details, probably the top 5 or 6 if you'd like.
That would be great. I would appreciate if you do that.
Yes,
so
sir.
I asked you essentially the same question to you, General Grass.
Congressman, if I could, we're probably setting very close to what Jeff mentioned at 92% on the Army. The air is a different issue. It's modernization of very expensive items. What NGRIA, National Guard Reserve and Equipment Account, really helps us with is those critical dual use that we can tie them to the homeland as well as going overseas. Looking at the current Army Guard shortfalls, engineer equipment, communications equipment, detection equipment in our chem-bio nuclear type units are things that we're looking at expanding and spending more money on. In some cases, upgrading some of our wheeled systems is also important. On the air side, in the homeland, and you've probably seen some of this in the press, putting the AESA radar, which is the radar that can help us distinguish small items, getting those on as many of our F-16s and our F-15s as we can to support NORAD. And then there's some upgrades, as you know, on the C-130 fleet that we need to be able to continue to fly them in international airspace in 2020. Right now we're on a path to get there, but if over the next 4 years the funding gets cut in any way, it's a problem General Welsh and I have both talked about. Ultimately, General Welsh would like to get us in a situation where we can recapitalize our old H-model C-130s and get into the Js.
So I'm going to sneak back in real quick for the record. So bridge erection boats, $73 million, which is shortages. Common bridge transport, so engineer stuff, $157 million. Heavy cranes, $73 million. Scrapers, which are big heavy junk, $48 million. And then palletized load systems, $286 million. Those are the top 5, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.